Um, but yeah, no. So there was a lot of things going on. Like I said, the other beef that was happening was between Jonathan and April. April was beefing with Jonathan, and she beefed Lamar. To be honest, to be fair, I was even happy that she beefed Lamar because I was tired of his bullcrap. I was like, give him a little bit of taste of his medicine. Give him a taste of his medicine of it, the stuff that we don't want to see and stuff that we don't want to hear and stuff we don't want to know, like and stuff. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, there we go, Jay. I can see you now. Yeah, I just couldn't see before. It came out black, but I could see in the
Oh,
background.
that's weird. I was like, it shows on my side. Okay, cool. Hey,
My baby. How you doing? You right?
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, babe. Listen, I saw Alexis and I kept on thinking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. She, I
Always
was like, I was
like,
like, the way she swooned Jonathan, boy, had him wrapped around his little finger. Boy, don't know what hit him when she said suck them toes.
listen, you got to play today thing sometime. You know what I'm saying? And clearly, she like her toes sucked. So there's that.
Clearly, cause she made sure. She made sure. She like, I like them toes. No, no, no. She like, let me tell you about them toes.
Yeah, she said they was cute and all. So she was like, if you want to put them in your mouth, we can do that. We can definitely
That's
do
right. Let's connect.
that.
That's what she said. Even if the show don't go on, trust me, I'm gonna get these toes sucked.
These toes gonna get done one way or the other. I'm telling you, this is the feet fetish crew right here, baby. Because
Listen, these guys are fetishish. You know what I mean?
these
I
boots
was
ain't
like,
only made
yo,
for walking. Jesus.
my God. She said, listen, they're not even walking because they gotta stay in someone's mouth, okay? Foot to mouth, okay?
Okay.
So
Keep
a
a
lot of
foot on your neck
madness.
and above.
Trust me. I was like, these guys are doing too much. So yeah, no, it was I think it was a really good episode. I really liked it. I think there was a nice healthy balance today on the stuff that was going on. I felt like there was some romance. I felt like there was a little bit of carnage. I felt there was a little bit of silliness, and I thought there was there's a lot of different things that were happening. So I'm not gonna be mad at it. I really liked the episode. I really did enjoy the episode, and I got a lot more I got a lot more um, stuff like reviews to do and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we going get there. Coding mode, so we should get the conversation move along. How about no?
How about when we ready?
Exactly. So I'm trying to push my boundaries, trying to tell me how to do my show.
Right, I'm
How
about to
about
put
you
my
get up
boundaries
here?
all the way up like Koshia. What the hell? I said
She.
when we're ready, we will move forward.
How about her DP's fire though? Okay,
It is
I
though.
take it back, Mo. You can tell me. You can
It
tell me
is.
what you want. You want some toes? I got you, baby. What you want? I take it back. Kodamo, say what you want. You want to say, move on the show? Hey, we got to move on the show. Kodamo said,
We
"Go move
moving
on the
on.
show. We gonna move on the show. We gonna move on the show." I didn't know she was that pretty. My bad. We gonna move on the show. We listen to
I'm
pretty
done
people
with
around
you.
here. You know what I mean?
I'm done with you.
Yo,
Please try and help this man out. 'Cause
I saw the DP. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna shut my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna move that show along." What you telling me, Sean?
What's going on?
No, you really look like you witness protection this week. I can't lie to you.
What are you
It's
talking
it's
about?
giving West Tech. It's giving West Tech.
I don't have a virtual background anymore. People kept
No,
complaining.
but that hat, is that hat, that beard, that black shirt.
you in
It's
tech?
giving the secret agency.
It's
You in
It's
tech?
giving
actually
secret agency.
burgundy. It's burgundy.
It's giving you an agent.
It's
Hey,
giving
listen,
Denzel and Equalizer 3.
I got to be undercover so we can so we don't all get blocked out here, you know? So I'm anonymous.
Listen, they haven't even started yet on this panel, this particular show. So, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. But what's your guys' thoughts on this episode, man? This episode was kind of wild. So, what was your guys' thoughts on this episode? To be fair, general
um,
consensus.
General consensus. Finally, we're getting to the meat and heart of things or whatnot. This is a good part for us where we get the dates. We actually get to see people really being who they are. I found that there's a lot of peas in the same pot. There's a lot of people that are operating out of fear. Um, Everybody has their different fears, but all of them are operating out of it. And though Lamar is rude as hell, I am not somewhat disappointed in him just kind of moving on from people who is not aligning with him. it works for both parties. So we can fight all we want, but it's fair enough for both parties that he moves along when people are not reading his room. However, he don't read nobody's room either. So there's that. Okay. Chaos. And I feel like, once again, I'm gonna say it again. This week, a woman shouldn't have went home. They should have sent another man home. I want to say the show kind of operates a little bit better when we see the men actually moving and doing stuff, some work, instead of sitting around. This opportunity for the men to be safe is allowing them to be plumb fools out here. And the only decent one that we had was the one that we wasn't even sure about from the beginning. That was William. So here we are. But yeah, go ahead, Sean. I'll stop there.
Yeah, this episode was chaotic, a little chaotic for me. You know, I just my initial reactions was I was I was a little disappointed by some of the fellas. You know, we already, as black men, we get on my little mini pedestal here. I just feel like, we kind of get a bad rap. And I just feel like this just kind of plays into it, the way some of the fellas maneuvered. Not all, because I think, there was a couple of fellas that really just, like Will, who really were doing a nice way of getting to know the ladies and being respectful and building connections. But yeah, I was very disappointed with Lamar, was disappointed with Alonzo. And, that behavior as men, I just feel like we just have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody gets to be themselves, and that's all cool. But, just some of the levels of disrespect that I saw, some of the levels of pushing boundaries that I saw was, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. This was definitely one of those episodes that had me disappointed.
Totally understand what you're saying, bro. Totally understand what you're saying. Let's jump straight into one of the meaty conversations. Koshia and Alonzo get into an argument at the very end. It becomes a place where she gets up, she walks away, and eventually, we get a moment in that instance. I want to get your thoughts on this, like Koshia and Alonzo. How did you see that interaction? And I guess obviously you can talk about the fact that they had a date earlier on and then the blow up at the very end. How did you see that interaction between Koshia and Alonzo? I'm gonna go Jay. Sorry, Jay. You moved in.
Okay, sacrifice me first. Fine, that's fine.
Sacrificial lamb, baby.
Okay. In the short version that we've seen previously to the episode, it did look like she just got up abruptly through the conversation. However, in the extended version of it that we actually seen in the episode, I feel that she had every right to get up at that point when she did, because she came in. She might have been on a little on edge, but I can understand. She said the night before they had the conversation, or over the phone some prior, they had the conversation where it kind of turned her off a little bit. But she didn't come in just firing off at him. She stated her boundaries respectfully and said, hey, we can move on from this. Oh, shoot, I see y'all done froze. We can move on from this. And we can continue to have conversation about anything else. But this whole, do you like to be spanked? I mean, spanked or choke. All he had to do in that moment was simply apologize. Say, if he meant it, he didn't mean it that way. It didn't have a sexual content. He can even explain it in that moment that it didn't, how he felt it didn't have a sexual content. I don't even understand how he could have said that. Because once you told, like she said, once you say those three words in the same sentence, it pretty much has a sexual content. The only connotation that it could possibly have is domestic violence. Like, I don't know where you were going with this. So when she said she was not comfortable about it, all he had to do was say, you know what? I apologize. This is not what I meant. Let's move forward. We're moving on to something else. being that he shifted the conversation in the long version, shifted it to, okay, well, we had the deliberation today. The men thought this of you, that, or whatever. That should have been the end of it. You didn't apologize, that's fine, but that should be the end of it. After you tell her she's safe, you proceed to try to tell her about this and what you meant about it then. Now you're too late, one, because we already had the opportunity, the window of opportunity already. That's closed now. We've moved on. Just move the freak on and leave it alone, because now you're not making yourself any better. You want to sit here and argue if it was sexual or not or whatever. Doesn't matter. Done. Conversation's done. She stated her boundaries. She told you, if you're going to continue to go down this path, I'm going to get up and leave. She has every right to get up and leave. She didn't disrespect him when she left. She just called him. She's like, I'm not about to do this with this grown man. Take this mic off of me. She left. I don't understand if there's a problem or whatnot. I read some of the comments on that post when it's on IG or whatnot. Some men was like, oh, she got up too early. She shouldn't have did that. When this is dating in the world today, she stated her boundaries. She has every right to stand on her boundaries. She don't want to have that conversation. Respect it. Let's be adults and move on. Stop trying to push people's limits and boundaries and see what you can get out of them, what reaction you get. Be grown, act mature, and act like you actually have some sense about wanting to find an actual mate. It made her uncomfortable. I don't understand what's going on in Dallas, but this season, these men is out of control. But yeah.
Go for it, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, if we could just kind of go back to, this was just some I'm going to say from my perspective, I saw a little bit of inappropriateness, even on Koshia's side. You know, a lot of people are different. Some people think it's playful. I didn't like when she mushed him in the bowling alley. I don't like that.
Can we talk about that, sir? Can we talk about that? Because I saw
you
that.
know,
Was it him or, I mean, I'm not going to say she was right for either one, but I thought it was Jonathan she mushed. Who she mushed?
No, it was Alonzo.
It was Alonzo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Alonzo for sure. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think women should refrain from doing those types of things. You know, a little push on the shoulder sometimes, but like when you touch somebody in their face and their head and then you mushing them, nah, that's gonna be a no bueno for me. Even if we're playing. So yeah, I didn't like that. And I'm sure she thought that was playful and it was fun and they were just going back and forth, but don't get that geared up. Don't get that comfortable where you're putting your hands on me, because we shouldn't be doing that to each other. So that was the first thing that kind of put my antennas up when I saw that. I was like, let's see how this goes. And it's not to say it was her fault that he made that inappropriate comment, but listen, when you start doing inappropriate things, you open the door for inappropriateness. So I think definitely the inappropriateness began to go back and forth. Now, I didn't see him say anything to her, so I'm going to take it as it really wasn't that big of a deal for him, or I didn't see his face react in a particular way. So we're going to move forward to the scene where they start talking about this choking and spanking comment. Now, what I didn't like is the fact that he, you know, that he's going to sit up here and try to pretend that we didn't, you know, it wasn't a sexual innuendo, because what else could it be other than violence, right? It's either sexual or it's violence, because there's no good way to choke or spank anybody else out other than those two ways. So for him to be serious enough to say that out loud, say it on camera, is a bit problematic for me, because it's almost like you actually convinced yourself that this is what you believe, and you want to sit up here and try to convince this woman of the very same thing. And I think what's even more problematic than that is it shows that when you're called out you can't apologize. And that for me is an issue, because when somebody calls you out and you can't apologize, what is that? How are you going to act behind the scenes? How are you going to act when it's something else? And that for me is problematic. If all you do is deflect, try to play word games, you try to spin around and make things that we know don't make sense make sense. That for me is problematic, and it is definitely, I see some people in the comments, it's immature. So I didn't like it. I think, listen, she had every right to get up and exit the conversation. An alternative would have been for her to just, handle it a little bit differently, not be so reactive, right? Just say, hey, listen, I don't know where you're trying to go with this, but we're not going to do that, right? But I don't know what else other conversations took place. She has a right to react however she felt in that moment. I'm just saying there could have been an alternative where she didn't have to get up in a huff. She didn't have to go through all of that, because clearly he's, highly immature and playing games with
her. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I saw that part, with Alonzo and Koshia. I think first and foremost, what Koshia did to him is very interesting. If a man does it, we don't care how she reacted. We would say straight away, she must be uncomfortable. She laughed it off. You know how I know that? Because on my own review, when I said she laughed off the fact that he asked her about having a baby, the people in the comment section like, we laugh when we're uncomfortable. And I said, well, sometimes as men too, we don't want to make it a huge scene that you mush me my head in front of everybody. And if I react, I'm going to be in trouble too, right? I can't react to what he just did. Actually, when you watch the clip again, he actually takes a little bit of offense. If you watch his facial expression, he does take a little bit of offense, but he laughs it off. Now, I thought that was well inappropriate, first and foremost. You don't know me like that. Don't put your hands in my face. She could have easily pushed his chest. She intentionally went for his face. So for me personally, and because she's a height difference, the height difference between the two of them is huge. So her going for his face is actually a direct attack, right? She knew exactly what she was doing. I think she's a little bit dangerous when she does that, right? Just like I think Alonzo is dangerous when you know that when she said, I don't want to have that conversation, right? I don't have that conversation about the spanking versus choking. First and foremost, I'm not gonna excuse you when you make that kind of comment. There's no way you can say that's not sexual. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, and I'm not a fool. The audience not a fool. Kashia's not a fool. You're the fool if you think you can pull the wool over anybody's eyes and put that any other way. I don't even want to hear an explanation. I really don't. I don't even want to hear an explanation about how you can ask a question, which is, which one would you choose? And that was part of your conversation. That was part of your questions, right? It wasn't. It was an inappropriate. No, let me not say inappropriate question. Wrong wording there, because Koshia said herself it wasn't inappropriate. What was his response when he called her immature because she didn't want to answer it? That's actually where the beef is coming from. The beef is not the question. And this is what people are missing. Her beef was not the question. Her beef was when he decided to call her immature, she then said, how does that make me immature for telling you I don't want to answer the question? So he's somebody who likes to push boundaries, but I'm sorry. You cannot pull the wool over our eyes and try to make that question you asked a safe one that you asked. It was a sexual one. You should admit that. You should say, let me say face. No, let me not say face. Let me be truthful about it. I apologize, right? And he was backing down. He was backing down, and then he decided to trigger her again. You know why? That's why I was saying about sexual tension, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. I honestly think these two like to play this particular game where they like to try and dominate each other. He sees her, she sees him, and they like to prod and poke each other, right? And I felt that, so that's why I said what I said. But now, let me say this, obviously, again. I don't condone, number one, anybody mushing anybody in the face, and two, I don't condone people pushing boundaries when you know for sure she said she didn't want to talk about it. And then at the very end, when he does push a boundary, he starts off with, I need my respect and my thing. I said, bro, you definitely winding her up now, because you don't even believe what you're saying. You know what I mean? You know you don't believe what you're saying when you're saying I need my respect. For what? What is the respect part of it? She just said she doesn't want to have a conversation about a question. Where does respect kind of fall into play? So I definitely think that there was something going on there, because, and the reason why I said about sexual tension is, if you watch that date on the bowling, she's hugging him, right? She's playful with him. They're having a good time and laughing and joking. It's only when they get to the question aspect that things kind of fall apart. But it was a little bit much from Alonzo in that respect. But yeah, because she is also one to watch out. Putting your hand in people's faces. Nah, I'm alright, thanks.
I just want to clarify something, just so that no one misunderstands what I'm saying, because I just see a few comments. I didn't say because she mushed him, he deserved. It was okay for him to ask her that appropriate question and push her boundaries. I said what happens is when you do appropriate things, the door is now opened for inappropriateness, because for somebody that is on the other side of that, that is also an inappropriate person, in their minds, oh, now we can do the same things together. It's not her fault, but it's an explanation to why sometimes things escalate or things happen. Not her fault. He's his own person. He's responsible for his actions, and I definitely condemn him for trying to sit up here and lie to her and lie to himself about what choking and spanking meant. So I just want to be clear. I stand firm on that. I also stand firm that she has every right to walk out. I just said there might have been another way for her to handle it, right? It's not that she's wrong. She's not wrong for walking out. I don't think she's wrong for walking out. I'm just saying she could have done it another way. She has every right to choose. You can do whatever you want to do. If somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, pushes your buttons, and if walking out is the best thing for you to do, then that's what you need to do. I just offered another alternative that could have been an option. Okay.
Now, I'll say this. If she just got off and didn't give the disclaimer, I would fully totally agree that maybe she could have did a different way. But she did give a disclaimer that if you're going to continue down this path, I'm not going to do this with you. So it wasn't just the abrupt get up, leave. She kind of gave him the disclaimer before and gave him the ultimatum, like, if you want to continue down this way, the consequences is me getting up and walking away. So I do agree that it could have been handled different, but she gave him the option. If you want to continue down this road, this is the consequence for it. He continued. She proceeded to do what she needed to do. And I also want to say that, because I read some comments too saying that this was his get back. I don't think that question was his get back, because they seem to have been having questions going back and forth, and that was just what came out of it or whatever. He just might have felt comfortable enough to ask that. Now, his get back might be at the end of all this, let me proceed to tell you about yourself some more. That definitely was his get back at the end. And his way of trying to tell her about herself is, I'm going to continue to tell you about this question that you are being immature about not answering. And it's like, sir, I don't have to answer that question. We were asking questions. If you didn't want to answer a question, you didn't have to answer a question. We're both adults here, and we both know that this question was sexual. You're not about to, what you call it, Sean, gaslight us today with the BS, okay? You're not, sir, you're not about to do this with us right now. You know where you were trying to go with that question. It didn't land. Let's move on. Like Kojo said, I don't know. He's trying to say you're immature for not answering. No, sir, you're immature for continue this conversation when I just told you I don't want to do it with you anymore. So I stand on, she had every right to go ahead and get up, because she gave him a disclaimer, and he proceeded to still play in her face. So I appreciate her just not going off, because I feel like she could have just went off on him and cussed him all kind of ways. So I appreciate her for just getting up and walking out and taking off the mic and not calling him a bum or anything like this. Somebody else does later on.
Was it Alonzo that asked her that question about her love languages too, or was that somebody else? Was that Jonathan?
Jonathan.
That was
Jonathan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I think I know it's just one person, but I think this is how, in the comments. But I just think this is how this is how we start playing games with each other. You mean to tell me that Alonzo needs to tell Koshia that it's a boundary for him to not be mushed? Okay, all right.
We learned that in grade school, baby. Learn to keep your hands to yourself.
Don't, no. And again, I just want people to be clear. I'm not saying a mush is the same as someone being, you know, I don't know the right word, like being sexually, whatever, fresh. I don't know the right way to really explain that in one or two words. But anyway, no, it's not the same thing. And I think what we are saying, and what I'm saying actually, is Koshia opened the door by being inappropriate with the mush. And what you do when you're dealing with somebody else who's already inappropriate, we cannot deny the fact that Alonzo is inappropriate. He's said it to us in so many words. He also says he's somebody that likes to push boundaries. He likes to kind of make women feel, a little, like to jab them around. So when you do that, it tells the person, it sends a silent signal. Oh, you like my games. And again, he's still responsible for his actions. He's still 100% responsible for his actions, but you set the stage. When you begin to act inappropriately, you set the stage. Okay, so I don't understand, what we don't understand about that statement. So, and again, going back to this mushing thing, yeah, every time I've been mushed, I didn't like it. Anytime it has happened to me, I didn't like it, and I can definitely tell you, as an adult, I haven't been mushed. And if someone did it to me, I wouldn't like it. I don't even like anybody's hands in my face.
Maybe let me say it like this, Sean, because I'm gonna say the same thing you're saying, just like this. When you feel comfortable enough to put your hands on people, unasked, uncalled for, unlovingly, and joke or jest, you're telling that person you're comfortable enough with them that they can joke and jest with you in their way. So for those that's sitting here saying, oh, if I mush you, that still doesn't give you the right to be inappropriate with me by saying something sexual. You're telling that person that you're comfortable enough to do things with them, that they can be that just as comfortable back with you to be themselves. That's the same thing Sean is saying.
Thank you, Jay. And I see most of y'all get it, so I appreciate it. I don't want to belabor the point by a couple of people that, I think are being a little bit obtuse, because I'm sorry, I hate to use that word, but, first of all, we don't know each other. We don't know each other. We've just met. We're getting to know each other in one or two meetings, right? So for me to have to tell you, so you have to hit me for me to tell you that I don't like to be hit. It's like, what? Come on. Like, and I get it, there's double standards. So I'm not even going to go to lengths to say if a man did it to a woman, I understand there's double standards, right? But at the end of the day, we are all elevated here on this channel, and we all should, at a very base level, know that we shouldn't be putting our hands on each other in that way. And you definitely shouldn't be mushing anybody. And she did mush him. For anybody that didn't see, you can go back and watch it. They were in the bowling alley. They were being very playful. She already said, and again, this is how I know Koshia is a reactive person, which is another reason why I said I think she could have handled herself a little bit differently, could have, at the table, because she's very reactive. She's very explosive. She said, oh, I'm very competitive. I'm going to do anything I can to win. So she's charged up, right? So she's in that moment. She's not thinking. And this is where you have to regulate your emotions and take a breath and breathe before you react, because you do things that aren't necessarily good, right? So she started that, and I think that is not good. Right? We've seen her in previous episodes getting into it with Alexis over just a guy that she said she didn't like, right? And then Koshia did. She's highly reactive. Highly reactive people need to breathe. They need to double check, over check their actions, and think about different things. So we got to talk about it. You know, I'm not going to say I just sat here on the show and seen a grown woman mush a grown man, and I'm just going to ignore it because he's a jerk. You know, no, she still shouldn't have mushed him. She said to mush him. She kept her hands to herself.
If my man isn't
Camera's not
competitive, he
showing
just needs
on
to
my
be
end.
okay.
It's not
Did it
showing.
not show?
No.
Oh my god! You know what it is? It's the connection. I'm gonna have to show it on my screen because, boy, the way that this connection is moving wild with this stuff. Sorry, guys. I'll try and show it. Because my thing that my internet be doing this. I'll tell you, my internet is in here. I need to go back to UK. I cannot wait tomorrow, guys. I'm out of here. Okay, because this is not it. Let me try do one more. I'm gonna try one more time, guys. I'm gonna try one more time and bring it up. Oh. No, I need it to work. Can you work for me? Can you work for me? Please work for me.
If my man isn't competitive, he just needs to be okay that I am.
Did it
No,
show?
still the same, still black.
My God.
You can hear it, but you can't see it.
You can't see it. I'll have to do it on my I'll put it on my phone and do it, whatever. Yeah, no, she I apologize, guys. I'll try and put it on my phone and put it on my screen and you can see that way. But yeah, she did mush him in the face, kind of in the side of his head, basically, is what she did. And yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's an excuse for anybody, to be honest. I just think, I think you guys have explained already. It's more of a case of that sometimes you open up the doors for inappropriate behaviors. Listen, past girlfriends have put their hand in my face and I've told them, listen, don't. It's not a joke to me. Don't do it, because it can escalate very, very quickly. We don't want that. But yeah, it's far too comfortable on both sides. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was putting pressure on her, and I'm not saying that he did it because she mushed him in the face. I think he did it because he likes to get underneath her skin, and he should just been accountable, and he was not accountable about the fact that he was pushing her boundaries and her buttons, and he intentionally at the end said what he said. He wanted to get her riled up, right? When he said, obviously, you need to give me the respect to everything, he was riling her up, literally. So, yeah, I can understand that part as well. But I think obviously with the two of them, I really do think they're both boundary breakers, to be honest. I think they're both boundary breakers, and I think that they move in a particular way that either one of them can easily offend the other person. Like, saying something sexual requires reading the room. You know what I mean? It requires reading the room. There are other people having sexual conversations. People are telling you to suck people's toes. Like, it's not the problem wasn't the sexual question. The problem is he's not reading the room, and he's refusing to acknowledge the fact that she didn't want to talk about that issue. And even at the end, he wasn't trying to talk about the issue. He wasn't talking about the sex conversation. He was talking about the issue of the fact that he wanted to wind her up. He was like, well, I know you said it, but you didn't tell the whole story. And he knew he had her, and that's why I said that both of them, at least they're playing a game here, and it's not as nasty maybe as you lot think it is. It's more silly from these two, But that was my opinion on that. So, any other points? Any other points before we shifted on?
Yeah, I just want to be clear that I think that as soon as somebody brings up something, that we need to be respecting boundaries, especially as men. And if we are trying something or trying to make a comment that's or we do make a comment that if we're called out for it, then we need to understand how to pivot. And I think that's something that we need to talk about more. I think that's a worthy conversation of how to deal with that, right? Like when a woman says, hey, listen, we're not going to talk about this, or when they had the conversation about what if we have a pregnancy scare, what are we going to do? I think that it's very important that we are really sensitive and don't brush past people's boundaries. So listen, for anybody that might be triggered because I said what I said initially, I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm definitely not saying boundaries should be crossed or anybody should be, able to say and do what they want to do despite what a woman says. So I just want to, I want to end off making sure I'm clear on that point.
I'm just thinking about this in a full out relationship. Say these two people is in a full out relationship right now, and this is one of their arguments. This is where we have problems a lot of times in relationships, and when we're in the middle of a heated debate, when one person doesn't want to continue and the other person just continues until the other person explodes and blows up and says a whole bunch of things, whether they meant it or not. Sometimes when we're arguing with people or we're going back and forth, and I know we want our sides. This is our ego at play. Our ego wants to tell everything that we have to say, get it all off our chest and all this. But sometimes when the conversation is just not going nowhere, we just got to just chalk it up. When the other party says, you know what, let's put a pin in it. Let's talk about it later. When we both calm down, we both got our cool heads about us. Let's just do it. This is like a good example of just stopping, put a pin in it, come back later, hash it out on another time, or just let it go and move on. When it's small like this was something small. They could have easily moved on, but he don't want to. And that's going to be a problem coming up in future relationships for him. He's going to have to learn how to just let things go sometimes when there needs not to go any further, and then come back when everybody's head is calm and just say, hey, listen, I understand this is what you thought I meant, but this is what I was trying to say. Stop trying to get a reaction from people in the moment, because sometimes the reaction you get is not the one you're actually looking for. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, see where you're at, yeah?
Hey, Mama.
Greetings, guys.
Yeah. We appreciate you. Welcome. We're just finishing off, obviously, Alonzo and Koshia, the beef that happened between the two of them. Do you want to weigh in before we move on?
Alonzo at the table?
And Koshia. Yeah, table where she walked away, yeah.
I don't want to repeat what y'all said. I don't know what y'all said if I literally just popped in, but
that's fine.
She stood on business, and he was gaslighting her. And she stood on business, as you should. If somebody's playing in your face, you walk away. That's how I would handle it. I mean, he was playing in her face, and that's the only way you deal with somebody gaslighting you is to walk away. Otherwise, they'll continue to play in your face. Everybody with common sense knows what he meant by that, and why he took that route is very childish. And as a grown woman, I'm glad she got up and walked away, because if you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you're telling the person that you don't mean what you say. So when she said, look, I'll sit here if you change the subject, but if you bring the subject up again, I'm walking away. And he brought it up again and around the way, and she got up. So I think that was good. No gaslighting in 2024. Good for her. I don't know what y'all said, but that's just how I felt about it.
No, he was good. Thank you very much, Siwe. All right, cool. Let's move on. Next couple that we're going to talk about, or next persons we're going to talk about, is obviously there was another situation. April and Jonathan and Lamar. There was an issue between them, and there was some craziness that was said. I guess I wouldn't say craziness, but there was some spat between those two, and it was quite interesting to kind of see how April handled both of them. The word combative came to me, but I didn't want to use it, but yeah, I'm gonna use it. Combative. That she was behaving in a particular way. But I want to get you guys' thoughts. What's your guys' thoughts on that situation there? So, what would you say your thoughts are on the extra beef between April and Jonathan was the second one, wasn't it? Right. So Lamar. So yeah, April and Lamar. What was your thoughts to that argument?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is an example, not the doop 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 like, but I feel like Lamar this is what happens when you just don't like somebody. Like you may not. I don't think he liked April's energy. So I don't think it mattered what she asked him. He wasn't gonna be wanting to answer her. And then I think the way she went about asking her questions was very, very cold, and just kind of like, it was very businesslike. So I think she got the response that typically you get when somebody doesn't really care for you already, and then you go about it in such a way. So that's kind of how I saw their things. I think he was a little short with her, and then kind of dismissing her. I just feel like he just went too far, and I said this at the top, like I wish the guys would have handled themselves a lot better. It was just very, very disparaging to me the way a couple of the fellas chose to behave with the ladies. And I think although she was definitely pushy with the questions, and then when he pushed back, she was like, because I can and because I'm asking you. It's like, come on, man. Like, is this the energy? Like, you want to be in a dating environment. Now, whether you like him or not, whether you see a future with him or not, whether you see that he's X, Y, or Z, your response speaks volumes about you, because how you are is how you react and how you act. So if her default is to be that rude, to be that mean, when you feel like somebody doesn't want to answer your question, yeah, and you want to know something about me, so you want something from me, so you feel entitled to information that you see I'm pushing back, but then you're going to say, when I ask you, like, why do you need to know that? Because you can, and because I'm the one asking? Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that energy. And again, like, you're going to hear me a lot of times when we're talking about these couples, I'm going to talk about two different things. Okay, so get used to it, get mad at me, do what you want to do, but I'm not saying he's right and she's wrong, because life is not about that. If always sticking to the, Lamar is the worst, and then we miss all the stuff that April did. And she definitely did a lot of stuff. And she should have went home, because you're in a space where you're supposed to be learning other people, getting comfortable with other people. So if just the minute somebody pushes back on you, you say because you can and you want to, what do you expect? What do you expect? So again, back to him. I think he's rude. I think he's pushy. I don't know why he keeps leading with all this sexual stuff, but he didn't really do it with April, which is why I think he really didn't like her, because he didn't even try. He didn't even try to be overtly flirtatious. He didn't even try any of those silly tricks that he's been trying with every other woman, because I don't think he likes her. So that's why he didn't answer the question. And that's also mean. There's ways to explain yourself better too. He could have said, hey, listen, I would rather us get to know each other before we kind of delve into more personal matters. He could have stopped it there. But, these two, it was like rude meets rude, and then you have an explosion. And that's what I saw between the two of them.
He tried, Sean. He tried with that little kiss that he tried to play off of the cheek kiss that she rejected. So from there, I think he had a problem of the rejection. And I feel these two are really similar. Like, she's not forwardly sexual like he is. I don't mean similar in that regards, but they're very cut, dry, and to the point type people, that they were going to be put off with each other regardless, especially because she's not into the things he's into, so to speak. She doesn't want to have those type of conversations. However, you're firing off questions just as much as he's being inappropriately sexual with the women. So you both are really no different when it comes down to it. And I think he was the worst person to be sending her home, because he was too fired up in the men's lounge to already send her home. Who's that in the pink shorts? Who is that girl? Yeah, her. Yeah, I don't like her. So he was already trying to get back from when she dismissed herself from the table, and she walked away, and he had to be like, "Oh, I dismiss you." Like, she already walked away, sir. She's already 10 feet away from you. She been dismissed herself. Now you want to be the one who officially does it yeah, you just needed something. Like these egos this season is really on 10, and all these people are really out of control. And these two have a big ego. Both April and Lamar, they got really big egos. And they were clashing with each other through this whole episode, from the time they met each other at the mixer all the way to he let her go. They've been feuding. I'm like, dang, y'all barely made each other for some hours, and y'all really are don't like each other like at all. So I'm just like, child, I don't know. But she needed to go home. She definitely needed to go home because she got a way about herself. She's an interrogation witness. What's them people, interrogator or something? Because the way she fired off questions, I'm like, nobody want to have a conversation with you like this. You just back to back with questions. As soon as they answer a question, you got a whole nother one lined up in the chamber ready to go. Just let them sit on that question. Actually, like, let that question that they answer sink into you. You don't even care about what they saying, the way you asking questions back to back to back to back. What's your name? Where you live? Where your parents do? Why are they doing it? What, like, damn, sis, slow down. And Lamar is just no better. Like, you don't read rooms. So these two is never going to be a match. I don't know who her person is not there. I don't like the way she left. Like, sis, you didn't have to stoop down to his level and call him a bum. We already know it. You don't have to try to put yourself on a pedestal and say you're a boss of anything and he a bum of this. We'll see it, sis. Just walk out gracefully, hold your head up high, and your man was not there.
Oh, what more do I don't know what more I can say. I think the two women who have gone home back to back have gone home for a lack of self-awareness. So I'm going to start with her and then we'll get to Lamar, because Lamar, I feel like I'm going to spend less time on because I'm not sure if he could be helped. But like y'all said, the interrogation style, leading with the modern woman, I got my 10 degrees and I'm a boss chick, really is just not the most attractive thing to men, especially men that do lean themselves to the bummier side. You know what I mean? The sassier side. They're not really interested in your degrees nor your line of interrogation questions. I'm not sure that she's aware that she's coming off like that. I think she was genuinely surprised when he responded to her like, I'm not answering that. I think she was kind of thrown off because I don't think she heard the way her line of questioning was coming off. And that's a self-awareness thing. And maybe we're looking back, she could probably be like, that line of questioning, my style of, getting to know someone, maybe I can soften it a little bit. I could change it a little bit. But when it comes to him, I mean, his response was completely inappropriate, rude, and sassy. And it seemed defensive. It seemed like he just was trying to cover up something and he didn't want to talk about something. So like Jay said, like y'all said, the combination of the two, which is no bueno. So, I mean, I just don't feel like a more aggressive woman and a sassy man. I mean, we're going to get to tussling. We're going to get to rumbling. That's just what's going to happen. So they weren't for each other. And I hope Lamar goes home next because the couth is lacking on his end. I mean, April, she could do stuff better. I'm sure there's a lot of things looking back she'll realize, I can handle things a little better. But his, you don't think so, Sean? You don't think she can handle it a little better? Well,
no, I don't think she's going to look back and say that.
Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe not. But I think she should. Because I think women sometimes, and this is coming from a person with a degree or two and a education that I'm proud of, I just don't go into rooms leading with my job, my occupation, or my degrees, or my boss chick status. One, because I don't feel like that should define me, nor do I think people actually give an F. And I do think like women need to stop doing that because we don't care. Like, we don't care. I don't care. These men don't care. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I think some women need to hear that. And definitely these pool of men don't care. These men who lack lots of funds, couth in class, they definitely don't care. So, I don't know. It's a sassy man apocalypse epidemic or whatever. Or whatever. He was definitely very sassy, and I didn't care for that. But I hope April on her next go around realizes she can kind of you can get the information that you want without interrogating men. I was just talking about this. Side note. The best way to get information that you want by, from men is to not let them know you're trying to get the information. You got to ask them the questions without asking them the questions. When you go in like this, and that, and what about this, and when were you married, they're going to shut down and you're not going to get the tea. You got to get the tea the way Kojo gets tea in his interviews. Butter them up. Ask them their favorite color. Then you get the tea. Like the direct, you're not gonna get the information that you want. I need to do a TED talk about that. I know how to get to the bottom of some information, and it's not by doing that. So that's all I got.
I'm hearing it. Anyway, any other thoughts on this part before we shift it? No? All right, cool. Let's shift it then. Obviously, there was some. I would say, can I say good dates? Can I say that? Good dates? We had obviously Jonathan and Alexis, but we also have Prince William. Sorry, I called him Prince William. Prince William and Patrice, who they had a good conversation. It was going somewhere. They started agreeing to both like a certain truck, and it was going somewhere. It seemed like it was moving, at least in some shape or form. And William looked in a better light. I really liked him in this episode. I really did like the way he moves through the process. So we'll wait and see. But what's your guys' thoughts? Sean, how do you feel about this situation when it comes to, I don't know, I've forgotten his name, so I apologize.
Who are you talking about? Because you were talking about, the last I heard you say William, but then you navigated to who?
No, William.
Oh, no, William. William, the situation with Patrice.
Okay. He's bald head, the bald head one.
Sorry,
right?
my bad. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, there's Will and there's William. Apologies, there's Will and Williams. That's why. William, the hips. Body, yaddy, yaddy.
Who got hips? Bald head.
Kojo, stay focused.
William got hips.
William the bald headed one got hips.
Saying that.
William got hips.
Don't repeat those people. Kojo, let's move on.
I thought he was so handsome. I didn't notice his hips.
Let's move on.
That's right.
So yes, they had a very good date. I don't remember a lot from it other than the fact that they seemed to have good banter back and forth. Was it the date with Patrice where he started talking about kids and adoption and stuff like that, his children and adoption? Was that with Patrice?
We talking about William?
We talking about William? The tall William. I don't know the difference.
Yeah, William.
Patrice.
It's Maya.
That conversation was with Maya. Okay. Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of. I'm sorry, I don't remember a lot of his date with Patrice.
That's fair. They were talking about trucks, but I hear you. Seaway, any thoughts on Mr. William?
I just remember he had 2 really cute dates, and he was smiling with Patrice. What were they talking about?
Oh, that's right, Kojo.
They were at the pour painting. Yeah, they were at the pour painting, and him and Patrice connected on the truck conversation because they were talking about the driving of cars because that's what she does, and having a diesel truck. And then Lamar came and interrupted them, so that's why you don't remember, because it got cut short. I was trying to help refresh memory.
I just remember them vibing. They were just vibing. They seemed like they had a really good time, and Drake said, "Where are y'all notes?" Shoot, I should have took the notes. I just remember them having a really cute date, right? They were down there to the little paint shop, right? And they had the talk after the paint shop.
I need y'all to stop body shaming this man and calling him hips. All right, so cut it out.
Look, that's not me this time. I didn't even notice it. Good,
thank God.
Right, and Grace Mercy said, "No, I don't be taking no notes, no way." So that y'all wasn't waiting for me for the notes. It got to stand
Uh,
Yeah, I just remember that he got along well with the ladies. They had good conversations. You know, he was asking good questions. I remember more of his date with Maya than I do with Patrice. Maybe that's because I fancy Maya a little bit, so I was more keen in. I'm sorry, my prejudice, but I really wasn't paying too much attention. Outside of they just had some banter, and Kojo helped me remember about the truck conversation.
Well, clearly it's nothing memorable because nobody's dropping anything in the comments either. So I just remember it was a cute date, and we didn't see no parts of the actual date. We just saw them talking after the date. So I was actually really wondering what they actually did.
He also had a conversation with Vanessa. He started having a conversation with Vanessa too, and then got
Vanessa too.
Lamar.
He talked to Vanessa too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. Yeah. So he had lots of mini conversations, I guess. But that's fine. If no one has any additions for that, we'll change it. I
was gonna say he's more problematic for everybody. That's probably why.
Yeah, he didn't have no red flags.
Body.
All I could think about was, this guy seems perfect. What does he do for a living? And then I couldn't remember. What does he do for a living?
It's comedian on here, but then on their site it was something else. Let me see, because they had
also he's in the military reserves.
Yeah. It
comedy,
was military, something else.
Comedy, and then there is one other thing.
Yeah, because that's what they have on the
insurance.
Site. They have
financial advisor. C-Perk said it. Financial advisor. I knew it was something financial related. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. But then on the show they have him down as comedian. So,
because I remember where his date with Maya, because Maya didn't have any kids, and he was talking about he had 3 kids, but he gonna blend the families, and then ain't gonna be no drama.
Now, don't give him bad credit. I don't think was he the one that said he has. I thought that was DeMonte.
He do have 3 kids. He does. No, he has 3 kids, 2 baby mamas.
Yeah.
2 BMs or whatever, 3 children. He also talked about being adopted with Maya, that he was adopted and he don't mind adopting anymore. I mean, he was very open, very vulnerable with the ladies. He was very unproblematic. So
very unproblematic. Right, I was just thinking about bringing your 3 kids to my 0. That's a little overwhelming, but outside of that, I thought all of his dates were like really sweet and cute, to the point where I was like, why is he on this show? Something got to be wrong. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm like, he handsome. God did take his hair, which means that he did something wrong. So he did something wrong.
That does not mean just because he's bald. It doesn't mean God did he bald, so he did something wrong. How you come to that conclusion?
You haven't heard her with this silly hypothesis.
I know, but I'm just saying. I know some bald men that is voluntarily because it's a better look. They got all their hairline. Okay, they just.
Well, how old is he though? How old is he?
What I got him at 40. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. I do got him in my notes. He was in the first group, right? He's 37.
Okay, so it depends when God took his hair. If he took his hair before like 35, 36, he did something wrong. So when did God take your hair, Sean? So that I can test this theory.
I think I elected to do it before he took it all the way away when I was like 31, 32.
Sometimes it's taken away because they wear hats too much.
That wasn't my ministry, but yeah, I get it.
We're going to leave his hairline alone.
That has nothing to do with anything.
The fact that he got
people in my family that got a head full of hair, and they done a million times worse than what I did. That does not equate. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate the compliments.
I'm gonna say the fact that he got 2 BMs and we don't know if he married either one of them might be more of a problem than his hairline. So
I don't know. He looks great with his bald head. No, there's nothing wrong about it. He looks great.
Mm-hmm. It might just work for him better than hair, because some people look better without than they do with.
I mean, he has an adorable face. When you have an adorable face and you ain't got no hair, all we see in his face. I don't even think he's giving us beard. Do he even got a beard?
No.
So you got to be pretty nice looking to give us no beard, no hair, just face. He's a nice looking guy.
Listen.
And he seemed like he had a good personality. So, you know, I liked him and Maya.
Morris Chestnut, I believe, had all his hair, but he looks so much better without, baby. Mm-hmm.
I think he does look better without his hair.
Yeah. So,
but you know,
I don't think he did anything wrong in God's eyes so far. I don't think.
We don't know.
I'm trying to make him do something.
But
wrong.
Omar Epps does not look good without hair, so it really depends. He needed his hair.
I'm gonna laugh because I was just watching a show with him, and he was in a jacket, and his jacket was like this, and his head was like this.
Was it Power? Because I need to watch the most.
It was Kanan. It was Raising Kanan.
Oh, that's my show. I need to watch the last episode too. I didn't catch it yet.
And he had that little shriveled up head like off of Beetlejuice, and that jacket. The jacket was sitting like this, and the angle that it was at.
Please say, "Oh my
God!" That was because it was a time they were back in the early 90s.
I know, but it was the angle, the camera angle, because when the camera turned to the face, it evened out more. But because he was sitting to the side and the jacket was sitting way up here like this. I'm sorry, we are also off the.
Yeah, I mean, the focus is lost. Let's get back. The only thing is, I do want to talk about Patrice just by herself for a second as it relates to William, right? She has a phenomenal personality. Honestly, Ready to Love and who the men gravitate towards really shows that personality really matters. Like when everybody's cute or in some range of cuteness, like it really comes down to the vibe. And she is just so easy to talk to. She seems like she's really easy to get along with. Like she has good conversation. I love Patrice on all her dates. I loved her with William. And I thought she's a good vibe. And Maya too. Like I feel like Maya just knows how to communicate with people, to talk with people. And I just think having a good personality goes a really long way. And those two women are showing that. And I think William too is showing that having a good personality hopefully will take you far, because he seems like he has good vibes, has good sense, knows how to talk to women, knows what to talk about. When Maya asked him the question about his, child's mother and their situation, instead of getting defensive, he seemed like he tried to answer it. I mean, we'll see if there's more there, but I felt like he answered it pretty well. So I don't know, just positivity. Their whole sets of dates I thought were pretty positive for Ready to Love standards.
The fact that he was willing to answer questions was a positive, because how the rest of these men was going on about questions, the way that they was moving all over the football field trying to dodge them, it was ridiculous. I was like, why?
Because they seem like they still got some ties. There's still something. I mean, you saw when they start digging, and we'll get there, but when they start digging with Jonathan, his answers were.
What answers? What answers?
Not good. And you need to have solid answers if you want people to engage. If you want to bring your 3 kids to my 0, we need to have boundaries and understanding, especially when you're having people work with more than one child's mother. That's getting to the point where, like, you're not even telling me I have to work with one person. You're telling me I got to work with 2 people? That's nasty work. I don't want to work with 2 people. That's 2 people that's pulling you outside of my household, if that's where we get to. So, I don't know. So where y'all want to move to next?
I feel like we're going backwards in the show, so I guess we might as well move on to Jonathan and all his interactions, or lack thereof.
Yeah, you lead it because you got the notes.
So okay, y'all want to talk about? Let's get to the first of the 2 broken dates, or whatever. Which was was that one the bowling alley date? I think Jonathan was the first. Yeah, Jonathan, Alexis, Alonzo, and Koshia. That was the bowling alley date.
That was a cute date. They were very competitive. That was a really cute date.
You missed all the fireworks because I went off and they was upset at me in the beginning because I was like, Koshia was wrong for mushing them, and she opened the door for appropriateness to happen.
For mushing. You can't handle Lamush.
She mushed Alonzo.
You can't handle Lamush.
Can't handle. I don't want nobody mushing me. You have never mushed me, and please don't do it.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean,
I don't mush people. That's just not my MO.
Right, like, nor should it. So that's why it was a problem.
What was Sean talking about earlier, Jay? Please enlighten me.
Wait, not the person coming in talking about you can't have a little mush, but that's not what I do, so don't worry about it.
I just don't mush people, but I didn't think it looked that bad.
What does it need to look like? A smack?
It was a little playful mush.
Yeah.
Is that toxic?
Yeah.
It is very toxic.
No,
I just calling that domestic violence. I need y'all to stop. Y'all need y'all to be so effing for real.
No, but okay, we gonna move on. We're gonna move on to this conversations that Koshia.
Because I think there's some people that didn't. Some people came in later of the discussion, so
right.
Just like
so
UCLA.
Let's just get to how Jonathan.
Jay is trying to move on.
Yeah. Let's just move on because I don't know where this is going.
Listen, Coach O's gone. We can cause a ruckus now. Let's act bad. Act bad.
Act bad, real quick. Just cut up his whole channel.
Come back, Steve. Let's get it started. Let's relitigate the whole thing.
I don't want to because people gonna do the most.
No. Let's just talk about Jonathan as a whole because he had a couple of different dates or interactions with people. Because with the mixer, there was Mika and April on him. Then we got with Koshia and her line of questioning, saying that he asked her what love language she likes, and she couldn't give an answer to it. But then he can't give no answer when everybody asks about his baby mom/wife. Quote on question mark.
Whatever she is.
Yeah. How y'all feel about him not being able to answer?
Well, I thought that date with Mika and April was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. They both seem more interested about getting to the tea than actually trying to have a date. Now, I understand why, because I think they could tell they was hiding something, but the whole date seemed like an investigation. Now, I don't know if this was editing producers, like try to make all April's dates look like, make them look like investigations, because you know how they do. They'll make a narrative. So April's narrative is that she's always investigating. So that could be it. But their date was just kind of like annoying. Because if I think you up to something, I'm not finna be asking you 21 questions. I'm going to move on. Because Jonathan's definitely up to something. So that was my thought about that date. The love languages date with Koshia had me crying laughing. When she couldn't come up with nothing, I was like, okay, next caller. We can move on from this because I don't know what's happening here. And then their little bowling alley day I thought was so cute. Honestly, I didn't even see the mushing. I mean, I saw it, but I really didn't pay no mind to it. So there's that. I guess y'all did. I wasn't paying much attention to it.
Yeah, back to when Jonathan, Mika and April were having that date, I did feel like that was like an inquisition, and I think they could have taken the the edge off by making it a little more conversational. But they were trying to get to the bottom of the fact if he was gonna, if his exes were issues. And I think they already kind of had their answer. When you have your answer already, and then you just build your questions around the answer that you already have. And I think that's why he got a little defensive. I think he could have just quelled it all by saying, hey, listen, ladies, we don't have anything to worry about it. When I did spin the block, the spin took place 2 years ago. I haven't spun that block in years, and I'm not looking to spin. I can't speak for her. Doesn't matter what she thinks. I know what I think, and I'm ready to move on. So that's that. And we co-parent well together. Now, can we talk about something else? what's the next topic of questioning, please. But
No,
again,
soon
what
as he
happened?
said she still want him, it's a wrap. When you talk about the baby mama still want you, ex-wife still want you.
Yeah, he did too much talking. Yep.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I think he opened that door of question that way when he said that. I don't want her, but I think she still wants me. It's like, well, why do you think that? Now we in this rabbit hole. We done jumped in together. And that's what happened. That's why they were trying to get to the bottom. When you went back to the block, how long you be on the block when you go back? Like, this your baby mama, so it's not like you just cut her off and you don't see her anymore. She got your child. So that was another thing. It was a lot with him, because I was just, when I look back at that whole episode, I said, Jonathan, you don't have no problem asking questions and sitting through while a person divulge all your stuff, because April, you asked a question to her, she gave you a whole list of things or whatever. But as soon as you get one question asked, is why are we asking this? Why are we back down this lane? You asked this already. Why are we still down this? Well, if a person's kind of asking you the same question over and over, that must mean that you either didn't answer the question the first time, or they didn't get an answer that was satisfying. In this case, you never really answered the question. So, of course, they're going to still be back on, like, what is going on with the mother of your child and you? He answered so suspect. You could have just, like Sean said, just, here's the thing. I ain't been back there in 2 years. I think she might still want me. By the way she carry on, I'm not really sure, but that's not where I want to be. That's why I'm here with y'all. Let's move on. But he said he got a communication issue. So there's that. And this obviously is part of the communication issue, is that he don't speak up when he's supposed to. So, but interesting enough, he had a great date with Alexis. If y'all remember that part of the bowling alley, where they sat down and talked about the feet of it all again.
Yeah, they got to talking about toe sucking.
But Alexis wasn't asking him nothing of importance, it doesn't look like.
No, she wanted her toes sucked. She got to what she wanted to get to.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about the baby mama's ex-wife of all. We just talked about toes.
I don't think she cares, because she's like, your baby mama ain't my concern when your feet is in my mouth. So what that got to do with me?
That's what he gave.
I mean, she got the way she explained it. I was more into it because, not that anybody asked me, but it's just never really been a thing I've enjoyed doing. But the way she explained it made me like, oh, okay, if you really liked it, I would try it, because she was like, get in the shower, wash up. I'm like, okay, now we talking more my language, because I'm very much a germaphobe, very much. I'm not putting a lot of things in my mouth, well. There's another thing that I don't mind, but that's a different story from a different day, But the point is that her explaining it that way had, had me a little bit more open to the idea of it all.
You were just open because she was cute.
No, that's not true. I'm not saying I want to suck her toes. I'm just saying, if you explain something that somebody doesn't want to do, I mean, this is, we're going to delve into something that I think is a better conversation, right? If you want somebody to do something for you, then the way you explain it goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like, if you say, I want you to do X, right? And it's something that maybe I perhaps don't like, then you can say, hey, listen, then I'm going to do this. And then that's like, oh, okay, I get it. Because in my mind, I think about feet, walking through the floor, being sweaty. I don't want to put that in my mouth. So when you explain, you're going, after you get home, you're going to, clean your feet in the shower. Then it helps me understand a little bit better. Okay, I could acquiesce to what you're looking for.
And in all fairness, Seaway, she had on some tennis shoes and not no heels in this conversation. So Sean was not definitely interested in them feet.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I think she either had on Jordans or I think she had on some ones. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's not.
Listen, lady parts, Felicia, are not dragging across the floor. Okay, lady parts are not being dragged across the floor. Not in some socks with toe jam. They're not. They're inside of your, drawers.
Yeah,
So,
some of them ain't clean too, but we're gonna leave it at that.
well, we will know at first sight, right? Once we get
More like
close,
first smell. No, at first smell.
exactly. Once we get up close, then we can determine, hey, listen, this might not be something where I want to partake, and I will politely disengage. Matter
My
of fact,
chocolate says some of the lady parts are dragging across the floor.
now if your stuff is dragged across the floor, then I don't want it.
Not you scooting around like a dog scratching his butt. Coach, I need to come back. His channel about to get flagged.
I'm weak. What are we even talking about?
Yes, we can blame it on Kojo. We can blame it on Kojo because, hey, he left us here to our own volition, and this is what we're gonna do.
Chiefy, you know me well.
These toe conversations are a bit much for me. Okay, I if you at my feet, baby, you too far down. I don't want to be worshipped that way. Come up a little higher. Praise me in my lap. You too low. Lay your head in my lap, baby, not at my feet. Child, I don't know.
Next case. Next case.
We're pushing Seaway's boundaries. We are pushing
Okay. Before we get like,
boundaries.
before we like Koisha, let's move on.
Koisha, you know,
Koshia,
merged her name with Moesha and
Koisha.
Keisha.
I did.
And then Koshia.
Koshia.
There it is.
You made me
Sorry,
think about
Mama.
Moesha.
Moesha, definitely.
You know, I hear the song playing. Mo to the E to the.
I was like, go to the Koisha.
Koisha. There you go. That's how you got it.
I hope Koisha lasts to the end of the show because she is hilarious to me. Okay. I hope she stay on the whole time.
All right. We're not after dark.
Where to next, Jay? Help us.
Yeah. So that was that day. I know we're going backwards, so it's like really not much to talk about because Lamar was just problematic through this whole thing. And then we had the initial group meeting each other in the beginning. Oh, Patrice and Luron at the fish with the fish.
With the catfish day. The catfish
Right.
day. When she ordered them neck bones. Now, Patrice, we really liked you, Patrice. But where in the hell, where are we ordering neck bones at on a date now, Patrice?
But he had a plate full of catfish. What's the difference?
Who neck bones, Seaway? As an entree, not
I don't eat.
green.
I don't eat no neck bones, so I don't eat that.
So why are you doing this to me? This is the second
because
time
I don't eat soul food no way. So I don't know if that's what y'all eat. I don't eat that food.
Y'all,
I don't eat it.
Judgy much. Judgy much.
God took me to a soul food restaurant. I was in there miserable. And on top of that, they put corn in the potato salad, which pissed me off.
Was it carrots? It was carrots.
But you're going to eat them whiskey wings, huh? You're going to get them
Hennessy wings.
Them Hennessy wings, though. Okay.
I do eat some Hennessy wings, but I do not eat soul food.
What you mean, you people?
You people?
What you mean, you people?
I understand they're in the South, but I'm sorry. I've been plenty of places all up and down the Mason-Dixon line, and I rarely see neck bones as an entree. Like, not the main course, mixed in with some things, mixed in with greens. Me and Jay both agreed. Jay's a whole chef. Neck bones is not your typical thing to eat as an entree, especially on a date.
Not on a date. Not on a that slurping. It's like it's a thing. It's
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jay, no.
Okay.
Oh, you came back.
Yeah. I was about to say it's literally a finger food. You got to break it all apart. The meat is little bitty. It's a lot of meat in there, but you got to get it in between all these bones. It's too much for a date. That's a date that you like. Y'all on the way to
Oh.
marriage, or y'all already married.
That's like one of them. That's like me ordering crab legs.
No,
Crab legs is actually a bit better.
Worse.
Crab legs is a
Thank
bit
you,
better.
Mark. Thank you,
What if I
Mark.
gotta crack them and I'll do it?
Oh my God! God bless Mark.
He eats that food. I don't eat.
No, he just said it is not it isn't typical.
It's not typical for a
and
date.
Mark is from Tennessee.
Not you doxing him.
He said it in the comments, Seaway. You
okay.
Why are you fighting with me today?
No, I trust you. I'm not arguing with you. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, ribs? Is it equivalent? Is it equivalent to ribs?
No, it's worse than ribs because the meat of it's a neck, right? So it's a neck, and the meat is all edged in between the actual bones and the joints.
Think
of the
about your
neck.
spine.
Okay.
It looked like a little. It looked the spine of your neck, like those all them bones right there, and you got just meat in it. So it's like the meat you have to get in between that whole joint process. And literally, it's not like something you could just take a knife, actually take a knife, cut it off. You can do it. You can be polite with a rib, not a neck bone. It's no
Now
politeness.
somebody up in
It's like
here is
somebody
gonna
eating the
tell
gristle
us-
of the wings.
Now, see, this is the stuff that makes me upset. It was not neck bones; it was turkey necks. What is a neck bone? This is, you know what, Kojo, I'm sorry you're not here because now this is the stuff that y'all be doing that just makes me so upset. Because why y'all why you want to do that? That's the takeaway.
No, but don't call that person obtuse because when I called you obtuse, you said it was the worst thing I ever said to you.
But I did
But
call somebody obtuse earlier. I called them obtuse earlier before you got on there. No, I didn't want to call this person obtuse. I just called, they're just nitpicking. People love to do this. No, it is the neck of a turkey. Yes. And that is a neck bone. So leave us alone and leave me in this neck bone conversation. Look, Patrice wanted to eat the neck bones, but what I'll tell you is.
Oh, they're clarifying. They said turkey. Look, they said turkey necks have more.
They have a lot
of meat, but it's a lot of. I equate it to your literal spine of your neck. All those bones that are right there conjoined together. That's what a turkey neck looks like. But it's a lot of meat on it, and you put it in your greens, and all the meat fall off the bone by the time it cooked down and everything. And then that's how you generally eat the meat when it's all falling off the bone.
They said don't matter.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Nobody said that there's no meat there. There absolutely 100% is meat on there.
Yeah,
next case.
Neck bones is different because it's two different meats, but it's still it's a neck bone. It's still a neck bone, baby. It's still a neck bone. It's just turkey.
Okay, so the consensus
as opposed to what?
Right.
I'm assuming
Cow,
the consensus of
chicken, whatever other neck bone y'all eat, it's the different. It's the turkey neck.
100%. And I'm not saying it doesn't have a purpose. You know, it's great in greens. It's great in seasoning things. Heck, if you want to eat it, you eat it at home because you got to get in there to get them to get that meat going, to really enjoy it fully. And a lot of people said this in the comments, which is actually true. She didn't really even get into the neck bones. Which is why he
was too busy because he was chopping down on them catfish and she was trying to talk to him and he wasn't talking. So she probably waited till he was done with his catfish to go ahead and eat them neck bones. Now y'all asking about oxtail, another thing I don't eat. So I don't know.
Oh man, oxtail is good too. It's tricky. It is tricky unless it's very, very tender and it's so tender it's like literally falling right off the bone. But it can get a little tricky. Some people, some restaurants I've been to, they'll pull it off, the bone for you, or it's kind of like falling. So, it's falling off the bone in the dish. Or sometimes you go to Caribbean restaurants and they'll have oxtail in their Rasta pasta. It's just, it's not as a struggle. But yeah, if you got to struggle through them, you got to get in the bone. That's how you typically have to eat it to really enjoy it. You got to slurp it up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Well, what I will say is, getting back more on the topic, I was kind of surprised to see that Trey want to know what I do eat.
He got
Chicken
questions.
wings. Chicken wings. If you want to take Seaway out and have her delighted to pieces, you get her some good Hennessy wings, and you get her a nice drink, and she is happy as can be.
And I eat a lot of seafood, but not a lot of, anyway, it's not about me. I was interested to see how he just didn't seem that interested in Patrice, because Patrice has been she's had everybody under her spell, and he just didn't, I don't know, he just only cared about his catfish. That was interesting to see, because who does he said he liked Katie, what's the one that be cussing people out?
Koshia.
Okay, I heard
that's the one he likes.
Yes, that's what he did.
Yeah, he defended her in the lounge.
Yeah, so maybe he likes, maybe Patrice is just a little bit more like sweet, sweet and easygoing for him. Maybe he likes a little tussle, a little razzle dazzle. So Patrice is not going to give razzle dazzle. She seems very calm, cool, and collected, which is good for her. So that's probably why he was more interested in his food than her. But I was surprised, because she's such a cute girl and easy to talk to. So that was interesting to me. But also, if you know that you're going to be able to eat some good catfish and whatever else on Ready to Love's dime, then maybe that was just more interesting than the conversation.
Well, he did say he came on Sabrina's live the other week and said the reason for him eating the catfish and stuff the way he was one, the date with Patricia was right after their initial mixer. So he went from the mixer to that, and he said from the mixer he didn't have much food and he was drinking all day. So my guy was on like, I need to get some of this alcohol out of my system, because he sure enough was eating it like he trying to sober up.
That's helpful to know, because you can imagine that's a really long, after a whole mixer and you haven't had anything to eat, you're not going to have a lot of energy for a conversation. So that makes sense.
That, and I think he didn't like her because, we got to remember, he likes to be out in the streets from Wednesday to Sunday, and she was looking like, yeah, no, that's not for me, my guy. Like, I have kids.
Why is he out in the streets? Why is he out in the streets?
Because he said he ain't found nobody.
He likes the nightlife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he ain't found nobody to keep him outside.
Or working in the club?
No, he don't work in the club.
He just in the club.
Mm-hmm. In the streets. Oh, from Wednesday to Sunday.
And he told people he'd be in the streets?
Mm-hmm. This was from that first episode. That's his thing.
Yeah, he said he's looking for a woman to take him to take him out of the street. So take him out of the club. I forget what wording he used. Yeah.
I'm not taking you out the club. So I get it. I'm not gonna take you out the club.
That probably wasn't the best. I don't think he has the right mentality. And I think no matter what, if you're hungry, I think there's a better way to conduct yourself, because she just, like you said, Seaway, she couldn't even enjoy her good neck bones. She was like this in awe. And he was like, he didn't even get a fork. I didn't even see utensils. He was just going in. I mean,
he did offer her some at the least, though.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah,
I don't think that was the real offer. After he already had his hand in it, it's like, you want some?
He passed it her to pieces. Yeah, he passed it to pieces. You want a piece?
Here, open up your mouth.
Hey, no, this is good. He said he's talking about you want it.
No, I'm sorry. Don't offer me your food after you don't put your finger in it. That's another thing. No, thank you.
No airport shoes. You got a lot of rules.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. Nobody. I don't even. You put your fork in first, and then you offer me some. No, we don't know each other like that.
Again, Lord Jesus.
Ask me.
Let's do Ready to Love. Ready to Love, Sean. How many more no's you got? You got a lot of rules. Do the wrong thing, your bags are at the door.
No, cut it out. I said I'd be open to the toast as long as you explained it, as long as you made sure they was good and clean. I ain't gonna spend too much time doing it though, so you can just, if you expecting somebody to be down there for 5-10 minutes, then get somebody else to do it.
Such an odd request, but you know, I mean,
they said I don't like nothing. Felicia, you always got your foot on my neck. That is so untrue. That's untrue.
because she know you long enough to know you got a lot of no's. That's why I was trying to figure out what the yeses are.
Look, they write your nose, no toes, no spoon fed, no.
What did I say? I wasn't
No
supposed to feed somebody.
food.
Did I say that? Maybe I was just joking.
No back rolls.
I would do that.
No back fat.
Seaway.
No big backs.
That's your thing. I don't care about that.
No
That's-
big
that's
backs.
what gets you annoyed.
You ain't gonna put some extras on it.
You know, she gonna hyperimpose her issue.
You gotta unbig them arms and unbig them backs before you come to shine. Okay?
Or Seaway won't let you date him.
She gonna cancel them out. Yeah, I just wish. I do not mind a fupa. Cut
No,
it
the
out.
fupas ain't that bad.
Yeah, they can be cute. You know,
It's
No
the
neck
big backs.
bones.
It's
they
the
can
big
be
backs.
cute. As long as I don't have to manually lift it up, then now that's something else to talk about. But if it's just a little something pushing out, then we good. I don't want to do no lifting.
You gotta
They
stop
said
lifting
LeBron
things.
was eating like John Witherspoon. JR said LeBron was eating like John Witherspoon.
Yeah, he did not. He wasn't letting up on that catfish. If it wasn't dead already, it was dead again.
That catfish couldn't stand a chance, baby. That catfish was getting taken down.
They asked if we talk about Alonzo. That's the first thing y'all talked about. Crazy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about him.
Yeah, we got that.
Monique King. I was just asking myself the other day, where have you been? I haven't seen you on this channel in forever.
I ain't
Mind
gonna
her
hold
business.
you. Catfish was fine. It's fine. That catfish was sexy as heck, sitting on them potatoes like that. I loved it.
But you know, and this is it was the perfect complexion. I'm gonna be a colorist when it comes to my catfish, because it needs to be that color, because it wasn't, it wasn't too light and it wasn't too dark. It was it was perfect. Woo! And the way you could see it, like had that little crisp to it.
Mm-hmm. Hell, you heard it the way he broke it apart and was like, "You want some?"
You heard that little. Oh man!
You want some?
You gonna eat and the meat inside, Jay. We could appreciate this. It was so flaky. It was flaky and tender. Woo!
And you know what just hit me? You know what just hit me? You know where it looked like they was at, because it's the same restaurant in Chicago and that catfish looks the same. It looked like, because they're in Dallas, Fort Worth, whatever. It looks like they was at Kitchen and Cocktails.
No, he said the name though. No,
it wasn't.
I gotta go back to Sabrina's channel. He said the name over there because they asked him where it was. I don't think it was that. It could be though.
Because Kitchen and Cocktails catfish.
Yo, if we go to, I need to go to Dallas too. If we go to Dallas, I want to go there. I'm definitely going there. I have to. It was so good. But they have a Kitchen and Cocktails in DC too.
It's DC, Chicago, and Dallas. DC's the newest one.
I've been to the one in DC.
Well, y'all Dallas folks, tell me if that was it. I don't know. I guess it wasn't, but they got some good catfish.
Vanessa and Chaz, did they have something going on this episode?
Did they?
I don't remember them. Chaz was. I only remember him talking to Laylene at the beginning. No, you talking about Will talking about Vanessa looking like Barney in the weight room.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst reference ever.
I don't think he meant anything bad by it though. I think he was trying to give her a nice, but he don't. Poor guy. Why he say that? She looked like Barney in the weight room. What?
He said Barney. I didn't hear the weight room part. He said
yes. He said Barney in the weight room. I don't know what he meant by it, but I was just like, how is this a compliment, my guy?
So somebody asked earlier, I forgot to get to it, why do we think Koshia is into Luron? And that question I do not have an answer to yet. I'm not sure. Maybe Luron seems like the least problematic as far as like logistics goes. I don't know. Koshia doesn't seem like she has time for shenanigans in games, so maybe Luron seems like he comes with the least amount of nonsense with him.
Or maybe she likes projects she can fix up, because some of us like them things that we think we could change. Oh, he's in the club, I can get him out. Okay. Be mad with yourself later on.
And Luron don't look like he gonna tussle with her, because she don't look like she want to tussle. Like she don't. I mean, she wants to tussle. But I'm saying like she don't want to. I don't think she wants that type of back and forth in her relationship. And Luron seems like he'll be more, trainable. I hate using that word, but amenable, more go with the flow. He just seems like he just has less undercurrent BS. I think Alonzo has a lot of undercurrent nonsense going on. Jonathan has a lot of undercurrent nonsense going on. And after what she said she'd been through with, what was it, her ex-husband that was hiding them 4 kids? I'm sure she just doesn't want to deal with men and their secrets and their lies. And I think there's a couple of the people on this show that look like they got some secrets and some lies going on. Exactly. She has 2 kids. She don't need another one. So, and there's definitely something up with Alonzo and Luron? We got some really black names on this show, and I really cannot keep up with it this time. We got Koshia.
Seaway.
What? It is.
Don't.
Lamar.
The restaurant was called the Pelican House.
Oh, the Pelican House. Okay. Well, shoot, next time we in Dallas, we got to try it.
Yes, we do. We need to try that.
It's so funny, Sean. I'm just saying they got some names on them.
That's just.
Well, I don't know where
is Jay? Jay had to go do something, and now I'm lost. Who are we talking to? We were talking about Luron and Koshia.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that was all the dates. I mean, and then we got the elimination date, which I think you guys already talked about. Eliminating April, and she got up, and I just don't. I don't know. I mean, audience, what else are we missing? I don't know. I feel like this episode kind of flew by. I'm interested to see though why Koshia and Alexis end up getting into it next week. I cannot wait to see that.
Probably over Luron.
I mean, she did say in the previews that she has a problem with everything. So I don't know. That's what they said they were arguing about. Can we talk about why Patrice is digging Alonzo? I don't know.
Did Patrice like Alonzo?
I think she did a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it looks like he's going to propose to her or something, but I can't take him seriously. But again, y'all have to remember, Patrice said that she likes younger guys. And I think Alonzo is a few years younger than her. So if you remember that, she does like younger guys. She likes that energy. I think she's able to tolerate some of his banter. You see, because like you said earlier, Seaway, about Patrice's disposition, like she's just easy, kind of light, easygoing, kind of way about her. She doesn't get her feathers don't get ruffled as easily. So I think she can deal with some of his antics, and then he's gonna, he won't feel rejected, because I think we'll have a semi-serious conversation. But I think from Alonzo's perception, he seems like he was the class clown, and he did it to get attention. So he keeps this narrative and this behavior going into adulthood. And in adulthood, it becomes severely annoying. When you are the class clown in real life, we all have probably interacted with people like that, worked with people like that, have people like that in our families, friendship circles, where they are the class clown 24/7. It's draining. However, somebody like Patrice, she can tolerate it because she has that kind of like easygoing kind of energy. She probably thinks his jokes are funny, And I think that's super important. I think you know, if they're gonna make it work, those two can. Because as a man, like if we're gonna be with a woman that doesn't like our jokes, if you're with a woman that doesn't like your jokes, that is a recipe for misery.
Can you pin this comment so we can get back to it? I don't want to lose it. Numa Kamara. I just don't want to lose it. I want to finish what we're talking about. Can you see it? There we go. Because this is funny. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't backfire on her. Her easy breezy kind of like go with the flow. I hope it doesn't, you know, backfire, because class clowns need love too, and they just need to find the right person, and maybe that's Patrice. But I just hope, yeah, I hope it doesn't backfire. And somebody asked me earlier why I don't eat soul food. I just want to respond before I forget. I eat some things. I'm not big on like pork chop, neck bones, turkey legs. I don't eat greens. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm not sure why.
Well, you just listed half of the things that are soul food. Well, you do like, let's say the things you do like: fried chicken,
mac and cheese, and potato salad. Usually from Jules up here in Chicago. Like, it's a certain type of potato salad, not that potato salad with the carrots in it. That was disgusting. I think that's about it.
Cornbread. Do you like cornbread? No. You don't like cornbread. Barbecue ribs? No barbecue ribs.
No.
Mm-mm. All right, so there you have it.
Okay. Now wait, please let's go to this pin comment, because this just had me weak. Yeah, Jewel potato salad. Jewel's is it's a grocery store up here in Chicago. They got the best potato salad. Oh my gosh, everybody know they be talking about bring the potato salad from Jewel. We don't even want you to make it. Don't make it. Just bring it from Jewel. It is that good. No, not candy yams either. I know. Throw me away. So can we talk about Vanessa? So can we talk about how Vanessa says she wants to wait for marriage and is given innocent church lady, but has 3 kids, 2 baby daddies, and one of her kids is a teenager? Child, that be reminding me of the people who go on Kendra G with that mess. They be talking about they want a husband and they done did everything wrong for the last 20 years. I peeped the same thing. I don't know what's to Vanessa, but things ain't adding up. She definitely trying to give Michelle Obama vibes, but the history ain't historying. So I don't know. I peeped that too. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Now, I don't think she had 3 kids. I thought there was 2. I thought it was 5 and 16. Jay, I know you are the fact.
She got 2 boys.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But y'all don't give her 3 kids. But she just got 2.
I mean, she was married. I think the younger kid is with the White King, I think.
That's what I'm thinking, and that's where I have a problem, where you start talking about baby, child's other chromosomes a certain type of way or whatnot.
Not you making it sound
Jay, now I was really trying to help Seaway, and now you done going down a path.
I'm saying when the other half of your child's chromosomes is the other 32 chromosomes come from the daddy, you get to talking about your child's parent a certain way, because you go from one extreme of having this vanilla relationship, now you want to be a Black Panther. So that to me is a little bit problematic, how we go to that extreme.
But I don't know, because she's giving very reserved. I don't think the reserved thing is fake. I do think she seems like she has a little bit more sense to her than a lot of folks on the show, and she does seem like reserved. And honestly, to be completely honest, it's not that hard to be reserved with this bunch. You got some people talking about sucking toes. You got people being disrespectful. Y'all got people mushing people that Sean don't like. I mean, there's just an array of nonsense. I mean, so Vanessa looking even remotely reserved is not difficult. It's just really not difficult. But I do think she is giving First Lady vibes, and I'm not sure I'm convinced. I think she got something to her. And as Kojo say, she giving them, she knows how to get that smile and that wink. She knows how to bring people in. She's what's the dark arts, Jay, you be talking about?
I don't know which one.
The sultry dark arts.
The sultry, the soul suckers.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
I don't know. It's I mean, I get her reservedness because I just feel like she's more comfortable in the settings that she was married to. I think she's more comfortable in those environments than she is. I remember how we was on Kiera last year, but I think she's more of a Kiera type. Like she's more comfortable in either diverse groups or groups of majority white people. I think though she's screaming Black Panther and all, this is a bit much. I don't know if she's been around this for a while, and she seems like she's just out of the dating loop. Like she just has no clue of what's going on out in this world. She just jumped into this pool and is trying not to drown at this point. And unfortunately for her, they put the worst pool ever.
I think that's what she wants us to think. I think that's what she wants us to think. They see it, she's like a mix of Jeffrey and somebody else. I do think she gives a better what is it? She's a more convincing Jeffrey, because Jeffrey was not convincing at all.
Yeah, I agree with that too, Nessa. She said that she likes to think a lot. She gave me very Taurus vibes. That she always putting all thought. She got to think everything through. Everything has to be planned out. This, that, and the third. So I mean, she could be very calculated, like you saying, Seaway. And
well, that's why when y'all said last week that she was gonna be gone soon. I'm not saying you said it, Jay. I can't remember. And I said she wasn't, because I saw the way she was bringing them in with her eyes and her pretty smile and her face, and she's so naturally pretty. Her and Laylene, very naturally pretty. Like they have like this effortless, just beautiful aura about them. And I think men like that, especially in a day where I feel like everybody's doing the most with their look. She's definitely going to be on here a while with her like natural beauty and her vibe and her just put togetherness. She gonna keep them interested. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but she gonna keep her. But I would love to know what happened with the first baby daddy and what happened with the White King, because there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. That was a good question. See, y'all, we just need a little help. We just need a little questions. That was a really good question.
That's right. We didn't see much of Laylin. Jay, did Laylin show up on this episode?
Only in the beginning with Chaz talking about that they were so connected out of nowhere when she wasn't his top 2. I'll give her top 3 because we know they get a secret 3, but he said that they, yeah, she coming, that they were real connected or whatever, but just at the mixer.
I was surprised that she wasn't at the top of more people. I guess she wasn't. Patrice, I mean, I guess it's only who they showed, because right, they give 3 people.
She's Dominique's top. And that's the only person that voted for her this week. Patrice got most of the votes.
Yeah, interesting.
But you know, they show us what they want, so she could very much be on a lot of people's tops. They just give us the ones that they want to show us.
Especially if she's not going home anyway, they won't focus on her.
Mm-hmm.
Today's episode was all about Patrice, so we'll see next episode. It'll be
it was Patrice, Lamar, and Jonathan pretty much.
It's probably not as, you won't see a lot of the drama, so maybe it'll pick up later.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is Dominic? Y'all help me out. Which one is that?
That's the one that want the 2 to 10 kids from the first group.
The dark skin dude?
Yeah, he's traveled. He liked to travel. He's like
no kids. Who was he at that date with? They were by the pool. He was on a date with April, and she had that funny comment.
April he had the church comment, come back, God, don't ordain all them kids for her. Mika, he was the top in the first mixer. And
we didn't get a lot of Mika, at all.
She was in there. She was chopping it up.
Remember Lamar dismissed her?
Yeah, but that was it.
And then also she was part of questioning Jonathan. Did we talk about that? How defensive he was about talking? Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we kind of breaked over that. We didn't really talk about how Lamar just cut her off though. After
he was rude. Yeah, we could talk about that.
What y'all feel
about?
Asking
if Kojo is coming back. Your guess is good as ours.
Yeah, we don't know.
Pray his strength in the Lord on this good Sunday.
Child, he been tussling with the internet all day. He tired.
Exactly.
He is fed up.
Y'all are stuck with us for a little while longer. We're gonna be wrapping it up because we like to stay close to the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, Lamar and Mika, what's your thoughts?
Lamar.
You
remember?
You remember
when she asked? Go ahead, Jay.
Shoot. He had asked her, "Do she want kids?" and she said no. And he was like, "Oh." Well,
okay, so let's talk about this. Kendra G gets on women all the time about this. I think this is actually a worthy conversation. Lamar is sassy, right? So let's just take him out of it. But do y'all think that it's realistic to find, before I start this, Mika's 37. Do you feel like it's realistic to find a man in his 30s who, whether or not he has kids or not, gonna want to take your 2 kids and you not have any for him? What do y'all think?
You finding a real one that don't want to have kids, but no, I don't think it's realistic.
Sean?
Yeah, if he doesn't have kids and you don't want to have any more kids, yeah, somebody said he has to be a 50-year-old man. Yeah, the guy would just have to be older. You know, can it happen? Yes. It's a very small pool, though. If that man doesn't have kids already, it's a very small pool of men that are gonna wanna be in that kind of relationship long term.
Yeah, because I tend to find that men that don't have kids still be wanting them more so than women after a certain age. Like men are still going to their late 50s and still want a kid. Whereas women, we have our reasons as why we don't when we get older. So.
Now, I do think you could probably find a man, like y'all said, in his 40s, maybe mid 40s or 50s, who already has his kids, and maybe his kids are the same age as your kids, and then y'all could put it together and it'll be fine. But I think you have to be very conscious about that, because to me, I just don't understand why, especially if you weren't married before, like how you think you're going to take your 2 kids to a man with no kids and be like, I'm just not having any more kids, and that's going to work. I see a lot of that, and I just don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's realistic, especially if you're looking for marriage. Now, if you just want some light, situation, you keep your house, but you have a boyfriend, how the people had back in the day, they just had their boyfriend who lived down the street. I mean, if you want that situation, I think that'll work. But if you want the man to come into the house with your kids and be, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, sometimes it does, again, I think it's difficult. And I think that's probably why she was okay with Lamar moving on. But isn't there a guy, I don't know if Seaway or Jay, y'all know, but I think there's a guy that she's dating or like she's starting to get to know and like that wants kids. Doesn't she like Dominique?
Yeah.
Which definitely 2 to 10 to her 0. I'm not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, did they not have that conversation? I guess they will soon. Yeah, I think that's also what really complicates Ready to Love. The age range, there's just so many different things going on in this age range. You got people who've had no kids, you got people who've been married twice, they got 5 kids. Like there's just a lot of different stuff happening. And I think that adds to the complication. You almost need to like double the pool to kind of regulate for this issue. What were you gonna say, Sean? You look like you're gonna say something.
I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
oh yeah, no, I was saying and then the other guy was married twice and no kids. I'm confused about how that happened.
Which one
and
was
he
that?
wants kids. Lamar.
Lamar. The same guy that dismissed her when she said she don't want none.
Yeah.
The same one that's been counting all episode.
I think it was, I don't know who said this. Was it, I forget which content creator I was watching. I don't know if it was Tammy Talks or, so forgive me if it was you, Tammy Talks, or if it was Married 10 Years. But somebody said, I don't think it was Married 10 Years because I don't think anyway, either one of them, someone said that maybe she's moving, maybe she's open depending on the guy. And somebody else said this in the comments too. So maybe she's willing to, change her stance if with the right guy. So maybe for Lamar, she was like, yeah, I don't like you anyway. So yeah, no, I don't want kids. And that's a hard no. And I'm fine with you moving on.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just dismissed him as well. So I get it.
So that could be it too. I also think that, I saw there was a brief clip of Mika when she was saying, she's really, she's not out here in the streets. She is, she's really, really serious about staying home, and she's doing stuff.
She was telling that to Jonathan. Yeah, I think she said that to Jonathan, what you're saying, Sean, where she's kind of a homebody just with her kids. She's not in the streets. She told one of the guys that in this episode.
Wait, Married 10 Years said Mika was on the wrong road. I can only imagine. I'm already cracking up in my head.
Y'all, I mean, y'all, and I love about this channel that we support other creators, but if y'all don't get over there and watch Married 10 Years Review, she just be sometimes I be cringing and loving it all at the same time. She be
wrong road.
She be going in. But she gives some great advice, though. I'm telling you, I love to listen to her reviews. I just started listening to Tammy Talks channel. She's another one. Oh my gosh, but hers is like, she has a dry wit sense of humor. Tammy Talks is really good too. I enjoy the both of them of late a lot. In addition to the other people that we watch and support.
And Tammy Talks is one of Kojo's good friends too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's really good.
So if you want to get flued out and you don't want to push out none of these men's kids, then this is not the right show. You need to find you a man of a particular age and a particular stage with a particular amount of funds who is okay with, you being put up in the house, you ain't going nowhere, and flying you out and helping you get a babysitter for your 2 kids. That you will not find on this show. I don't believe.
But let's not forget that Mika got flued out just to sit in the car while this man went in. He got his toes done.
I'm glad y'all said it because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be rude, but I'm like, I don't know. I just see some inconsistencies with what Mika was saying versus how it really is. It almost gives me like she's a baby Vern, Vern talk about one day she's in the house, and then she's outside in the house outside. So I don't know.
Well, they're both in the beauty industry. One's an esthetician and Vern does hair, beautician. So
there you go. We gonna get blocked out here.
I have escaped all block lists. I don't know how, but I have. So we'll see.
Oh, shout out to Vern. We love you. We do. We do.
We really do. She cool. Yeah, those are good questions. Good comments. Ciao.
All right. Anything else? Because I think right now we just on the phone. You know, when it's you on the phone and you ain't got nothing to talk about.
Now we just yapping. We all on FaceTime right now, y'all.
We just coming up with things to talk about. It's like, you know, and that one person says, "Oh, I'm gonna let you go." No, you're not gonna let me go anywhere. You're leaving. Stop.
But one more thing, you know how they come back. But one more thing, let me just ask you this:
no, don't let me go. You go.
They done gave us some good comments. So you know, we pop back in and we say a little something. But yeah, Kojo's fine. He should be back. He should be back home soon. So I think once he's back, we'll get all on the same wavelength, good internet, and we'll be good to go.
His sleeping patterns will be, you know, he'll be more on back to the regular scheduled programming. No, he's fine. He's just really he needed a good rest.
It's hard to do all this and then be out and enjoying yourself and stuff, and then trying to be on live. It's it's tiring. So
yeah, his flight. Well, technically, I think it's today. It's Monday in Ghana, so I believe he leaves today.
But if y'all concerned, blow up his DMs.
Yeah, let him know. Let him know you missed him. Yeah, you know what's the even better way to let him know how much you cared about him? Let him know how much his presence was missed. You take this here good live, you forward it, you send it to your friends, you make sure you like this live.
Like the live, leave a comment.
Help this good, beautiful channel get to 100,000, because we see plenty of other channels out there, and we don't want to hate on anybody else's blessings, but they just jumping and skyrocketing over 100,000 and above, right? Let us get this little black book to 100,000. We are less than 20,000, a little bit less than 20,000 to get there. Let's do that. You know? Can we just do that? Can we just actually, and it's free. It don't cost nothing. Don't cost nothing to subscribe. It don't cost nothing to forward this. It don't cost nothing to like the live. So please, we could just ask y'all that. As we bring all of our tithes to the storehouse, please. We appreciate y'all. We have a good time here. Any closing remarks?
If you've been watching, last thing, if you've been watching, but you have not left a comment in the live and you have not left a comment on the YouTube page, leave a comment if you're a first time commenter, whatever. We do this every now and then just to see the people that we don't, who be ghost watching but not talking. We want to know who you are. There's a lot of y'all who don't talk. It'd be the same people talk. I love y'all who talk, but we love to see the new folks if you normally don't chat with us. So
here's another hint too to help the algorithm. If you go back and watch some of the old videos, even if you like and subscribe and hit the bell already, that will help when you are sitting screaming. I don't get the notifications, though I hit the bell. And go make sure that you're still subscribed, because some of these channels, the YouTube has been unsubscribing people from people's channels. So do make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel as well, and the bell is still hit for you. And while y'all at it, y'all can go over to Another Round JS and subscribe over there too. Thank you.
Yes, please go support Jay's channel. I'm always over there. Please go to Another Round JS. And
yes, me and C-Way and L said cut up over there. So if y'all want to laugh with your big cousins, y'all come on over there with us. We cut up. We have Sean over there from time to time, but he be too appropriate for us.
Sean 2.0 is just, I try to mind my P's and Q's,
We gotta have Patron Shine over there. Patron Shine.
I thought about that the other day. I was like, God dang, I was a fool in Atlanta, my gosh.
Yeah, you were. We ain't seen that Sean since, but it's okay. We'll leave him there for now.
Not the dry now.
All right, guys. Benediction.
Yes, we talked about it from the beginning.
Yeah. So for anybody, we covered just about everybody, all the highlights and the lowlights we covered in the beginning. So, oh, all right, good people. Well, we thank you. We appreciate you for hanging out with us. For those that were with us from the beginning, you got to see our fearless leader, Kojo. But he has gone to retire because he has a long journey back home. So wish him safe travels. But, I think we learned a few good lessons tonight. We learned, hey, listen, some very important things. Don't test people's boundaries. And if you happen to cross somebody's boundary, an apology is so much easier than a tussle. So if you cross a boundary, please apologize. And also, nobody likes a mush. We're going to do this PSA. If you didn't know, I hope you know now. Don't mush nobody. Don't put your hands on nobody. We've been through too much. We've been through too much as a people. We don't need to touch each other. Not in that way, okay? Let's touch each other in love, okay? And I think that's it. Y'all have a blessed evening, and we'll take care.
Hi, new people. See y'all.
Bye.